The last class we were discussing the NP hard problem. Uh, there was some points were missing on the slide. I have uploaded those problems and I have uploaded to the Microsoft Team portal. And the previous slide which was loaded, that also I have changed the name. It start with DSAD NP completeness 1 because totally NP complete and NP hard will be 3 lecture or the 3 series. Okay. So the corrections have been loaded to the NP hard slide. So you go through that and maybe in one day I'll fix up to discuss again on the if some points you need a clarification. So we can clarify based on the slide 1, slide 2 or the NP hard one. Okay, so today we'll continue. First we look into a typical proof of a problem of NP completeness. Those who are looking into the NP hard problem, a few authors try to explain the problem depending on which the problem can be NP hard or NP complete. They have a very simple explanation. I'll share another PPT, which is one of the easy way to categorize or remember that we are going to sure. This is, I think it's visible to you. Can anyone respond, please? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So this is one of the simplest way to explain. When we talk in general, a problem is easy, or maybe the toughness is medium, or a hard, or the hardest. So sometimes we face a question. They say ki, what is the NP hard problem? One can use a very casual remark that it is the hardest problem. So when you try to take up a research problem or a problem for your thesis, or maybe you have to solve a problem for your PhD work or MTech dissertation, so always you will be have a mindset to prove that I am doing a hardest problem, or I'm trying to find out a solution to a hardest problem, and which might be addressed by other people. This is again I am repeating, one of the skill is required to prove the problem to be hardest. Okay, if the problem is previously proved to be hardest, a hard problem, technically NP hard problem, you are quite safe. Otherwise, you are going to prove a problem to be NP hard a problem. Okay. So then similarly, the hard problem typically look into the problem which are NP complete problem. Suppose there are two people. I mean, you are working on a problem. Let us say you try to place the wireless sensor nodes across, across a particular geographical area. Let us say for weather monitoring and habitat monitoring, or maybe some wireless nodes you are trying to deploy it, and those wireless nodes are battery powered, and you try to find out that the way you should deploy the node, that the total area is to be covered, maybe for surveillance, maybe for collecting the data. Okay, so we talk that particular problem as a K coverage problem or target coverage problem. If I'll slightly twist this problem, I can say I have fewer missiles. I have to attack to the enemy country. So how should I deploy my missile so that it can hit the maximum number of target? This is the difference between the Chinese journal and Indian journal. You'll be finding the Chinese students take up a problem. I have few missiles, I want to hit the maximum target. Okay, so once I told like this, and this problem you want to characterize and the problem you want to represent. So either you say my problem is a hard problem or a hardest problem. So even if no predecessor has proved the problem to be NP complete or NP hard, you have a opportunity to prove that problem is to be NP hard. So in general, when we talk about a hard problem, we always talk about NP hard, that you assume. We have a problem P, we have a problem NP, out of which NP, few problem are NP hard. Then once the problem is proved to be NP hard, then we come from top to bottom to prove that it is NP complete. With this assumption, last class we discussed a proof a particular problem to be NP hard. Okay, sometimes some problem will be given and you are being asked to prove it NP complete. Please try to understand a problem, you try to prove it to be NP complete. One of the approach is like this: you prove the problem to be NP hard. Please listen. You prove the problem to be NP hard, then reduce that problem to a problem which is NP complete, or I mean you can apply the reducibility. That means there exists a NP complete problem, you try to reduce it to that to your problem which you previously proved to be NP hard. Another way which we discussed very often, how to prove a problem to be NP complete. I'll go to that slide. Again, I remind you here, to prove a problem to be NP complete, reduce any NP problem in polynomial time. Either you start from NP side, reduce it, prove it to be NP complete, or you prove in a polynomial time reduction from hard, you can prove it to be NP complete. So some reduction mechanism has to be there. So in general, there are two different approach to proof. We'll directly go to the NP complete because otherwise these portions will be repeated. Yeah. So here you see how I try to prove a problem to be NP complete. First, you show that the problem is in NP, which very much similar to last class what we discussed. We say we do not have any polynomial time algorithm for the solution. So indirectly, what you try to prove? Can anyone respond? I want to prove my problem in NP. I am going to prove. How I will represent that one? Yes. Can anyone respond? I try to prove a problem to be in NP. What I am going to do? Hello.
Sir, there is no
So we can
algorithm
throw
which
the problems space.
Yes. Yes.
It's a non-linear time complexity.
No.
Sir, we can reduce it to a decision problem and
No.
we can verify.
No. Okay. Decision problem is there. Okay. Good. Decision problem is there. Good. I agree to that.
Polynomial time.
No. Simply you see look into the step number 1. I think you are able to view the slide. How do you prove the problem is NP complete? Are you viewing that slide? Or is there any conflict sharing?
Sir.
No, sir, we can
No,
use
sir.
Okay.
No.
So you see, we try to prove a given problem in NP. Look into the first line, very simple, NP. That means that we do not have a polynomial time algorithm. Okay. That step number 1, you try to show, let us say a sorting problem. Can you prove the sorting problems in NP? Can you prove the sorting problems in NP? No. Because when you look into a sorting problem, you try to do the permutation combination of all those numbers and you able to get the sort. There are different sorting techniques are there. So you can say maximum I need a order of n square complexity. So you prove a sorting problem is belongs to P. Now you try to prove a problem to be in NP, means indirectly what it is asking, you please prove the solution space of the problem. Got it? Now suppose I want to find out a largest 5-digit number. Largest 5-digit number. And I mean largest 5-digit number. Okay, how you are going to do that? How you are going to do that? Largest 5-digit number. So assume that you do not have a construction mechanism. There is a basket where you are finding the largest 5-digit number which takes the digit from 0 to 9. So what is the possible numbers? Are you getting me? There are 10 digits and I tried to construct a 5-digit number. What will be the solutions, possible numbers?
All 0 to all 9.
10 power 5.
So it is coming all the numbers, not serially, because permutation combination of that, na, all will come. Okay, then what you try to do, out of all these permutations, if suppose you are using a brute force method, you have to examine them. That is a large one. So then if you will come to a, let us say, spanning tree, a particular vertex, I mean a particular graph has, let us say, m number of edges. Okay, m number of edges. So how many, and m total number of edge is m, but vertex is n. So how many spanning trees are possible? I am looking for a minimum spanning tree. First, how many spanning trees are possible? Because for n vertex, I will take how many edges? N minus 1 number of edges, right?
-1.
And I will take n minus 1 number of edges out of available m number of edges. Yes or no?
Yes,
I have a
sir.
graph with n vertex. I have a graph with n number of vertex and m number of edges. And I try to find out how many spanning trees are possible. The spanning tree is consist of n minus 1 edges. So I have to pick up n minus 1 edges from all available m edges. So how many ways I am going to do that?
Sir, 2 power n
Yes,
two.
yes,
And
yes.
C2.
M choose n minus 1.
NC, that is n minus 1 actually. N minus 1 C M, right? N minus 1, because you have to select n minus 1 number of edges out of available m number of edges. So n minus 1 C M. Okay, what is that number? Is it a polynomial? Is it a polynomial or non-polynomial? Of course, without any repetition, if you write like this, so in that way, if you'll argue, very simple thing, in that way, if you'll argue the avail or the possible solutions or solution space is exponential. As we have discussed in traveling salesperson problem, it will be n factorial. Similarly, if you land into n factorial or a 2 to the power n type of quantity, then you can easily say this is a non-polynomial. Once you have an exponential, you can say it's a non-polynomial, and so mostly the polynomial deals with power of 2 or 3. Once we go to exponential, with that argument only you can prove that U is in NP. Because if you look into the diagram, we have a P and NP. P is having polynomial algorithm, NP is not having polynomial algorithm. To prove a problem to be NP, you only describe the solution space. Now, select the NP complete problem. Select a non-NP complete problem because you try to prove your problem U to be NP complete. Then reduce the selected problem V to the new problem, that is U. This is, and then you prove that the reduction method or the reduction process or the reduction algorithm is bounded by a polynomial or it takes a polynomial time. This is one of the approach. What is the second approach? Second approach is that after proving the problem to be NP hard, you can go further to prove that the problem to be NP complete. If you remember the Venn diagram, what we have shown. So out of the whole space NP hard, some of the problem are proved to be NP complete. So remember, there are two approach. One is, this is the 4-step process where we start with a problem, argue that this is not in P but in NP, then select a appropriate NP complete problem from the hierarchy, from the literature, from the property of the particular problem which is similar. If it is a graph algorithm, we go for another graph algorithm. Then we talk about the construction of the reduction process. Reduction process is nothing but a algorithm which converts the known NP complete problem to your problem, right? And a very simple reduction process might be like this. You have a 2-dimensional array. I try to reduce it into 1-dimensional array. Okay, because my problem in 2-dimensional array. Let us talk about a graph. You have many tree algorithms. You know many tree traversal algorithm. Can your tree traversal algorithm will be applied to graph? You try to apply the tree traversal algorithm to graph. How you are going to do that? Can anyone suggest? I have many tree traversal algorithm, in particularly the binary tree traversal algorithm. Okay, but my problem is given in a graph. How to do that? Yes, anybody
The
knows?
BFS breadth
No,
first search.
no, breadth first search, depth first search. It's fine. It's a traversal algorithm of a graph. What I say, I have developed a good traversal algorithm for binary tree. Okay, and I try to apply that algorithm to a graph. Is it possible? What I meant to say, if you know a method, you can convert the general graph to binary tree, your problem is solved. Answer is yes. You would look into a typical data structure book or algorithm book, you will be finding we can reduce a graph to or we can transform a graph to the binary tree. And if that transformation process or algorithm takes a polynomial time, then the purpose is solved, because similarly this is also one type of transformation, represent transformation. Or very simple thing, as I say, you have 2-dimensional array, you try to store them in a linear array. Very much possible. You have two choices, row measure order or column measure order. This is the way we enters the data. When we learn programming, I try to multiply two matrix. Either I enter with a row measure order or a column measure order. If we look into that entry, we say in terms of the array. Okay, so this conversion or this process of the algorithm which translates one representation of a problem to another representation takes polynomial time. That's all. We have enough explanation to this point, and we'll move to the example. And this is again a repetition. We try to select a known NP complete problem from available hierarchy. Suppose you have we are working on a new problem. You are working on a new problem. So suppose it is a resource allocation problem or the placement in a cloud computing, I'll say this will very much match to the knapsack problem. If I have a problem called target coverage or deployment of the wireless node for surveillance, deployment of the underwater wireless node for to track the torpedo in the sea or the enemy ships, how it can be tracked with a underwater wireless sensor network, it comes to the set cover problem. It's just a experience and representation or the nature of the problem. From this diagram, one can select the appropriate problem which is already proved to be NP complete, and we try to reduce this particular problem to our problem. That means if I say by target coverage problem, or as I say, how many missiles I need to deploy it so that it can hit all the targets, because I have fewer missile, I have more number of target. So it comes under the set cover problem. So we can use the standard hierarchy which is available for different NP complete problems, and then we try to prove. So that is the reason some of the research paper or the book they write like this. They describe a problem, then they define as set cover problem is NP complete. the target coverage problem was proved to be NP complete by Johnson or by any of the paper. Okay, so this is the I mean, you can say a standard hierarchy of NP complete problems that can be used to address almost all problems which requires the proof for NP completeness. Okay, now I'll quickly move to the a particular problem what we try to do, and we'll try to understand few points that what is the another way of proving a problem to be NP complete. So we'll start with a problem that is a vertex cover problem. The vertex cover problem described on a undirected graph, the graph without directed edges. Then what is a vertex cover? It is nothing but the subset of the vertex. That means if you have a original vertex is in the set V, you are going to find out a subset of the vertex such that every edge UV of the graph, either U or V, is in vertex cover. Okay, is in the vertex cover. What is the objective in the vertex cover? The objective is given a undirected graph. The vertex cover problem is to find out the minimum size of the vertex cover. So when we are finding the two nodes, they are not connected nodes, the vertex cover is 0. And if you look into the vertex number of 3, so it is connecting to 102, it is found to be 3. And when you say the minimum vertex cover for this, you are finding 4, 2 or 4, 0. So that means we are going to take in terms of the vertex and to find out the in terms of the particular second vertex which is connected. Okay, so now the formal definition of the problem, given a graph, so we have set of vertex and set of edges. Then in addition to that, we have a positive integer which acts as a constraint or which acts as the to define a problem, because we sometimes call a K coverage problem. Okay, but the problem is attribute used as the K. The problem is to find out whether there is a subset V dash, that is nothing but the set of the vertices, and the cardinality or the number of element in V dash is at most K, such that every edge in the graph is connected to some vertex in V dash. Okay, so every edge in the graph is connected to some vertex in V dash. So we try to include those subset of V so that every edge will be connected to the subset V dash. Okay, so if the cardinality of V dash is K, then we can say the vertex cover or it is a K coverage problem. Now, we are critical about proving. So far we are discussing how to prove a problem to be NP complete. Now look into the step number first. In step number first, what we try to proof of the vertex cover is in NP. Proof of the vertex cover is in NP. That also very much similar to the 4 steps what we have proved. Now you just come into the second point. Prove the vertex cover is NP hard, right? Prove the vertex cover is NP hard. And once you prove the vertex cover is NP hard, then it says how it is going to address that the particular problem is NP complete. Look into the statement, we try to prove the problem to be NP complete. Okay, it proved to be NP complete. So that actually the proof usually comes from the definition. Now before going back to the discussion, we can discuss the 2 other points. So an instance of a vertex cover, how we'll define the instance? Instance means the input. Input means I may have a graph where cardinality of edge is 0, but it is only consists of unconnected vertex or a set of vertex only. Okay, that is possible. So an instance of the problem is nothing but the input to the given problem. An instance of the vertex cover problem is a graph VE and a positive integer K. The problem is to check whether a vertex cover of size K at most exists or not. That means we need to find out number of vertices where it is going to connect, or every edge of the vertex is going to connect them. Okay, so exactly we are looking for the set of vertices, or cardinality of that set is equal to k, for which every edge is going to connect to the vertex set V dash, where V dash is the subset of V. So since an NP complete problem is by definition is a problem which is both in NP and NP hard. I don't think you have any doubt if you look into the diagram. The NP complete problem also lying in NP, also lying in NP hard. The proof of the statement that a problem is NP complete is consist of two parts here. The first part is very much similar to the four steps we have discussed, but the second step is proof of vertex cover is NP hard. Okay, so if you remember the last class, what we prove a problem to be NP hard, what we did, what is the steps to be prove a problem to be NP hard? What is the problem is to be proved to be NP hard? Yes, if anybody remember what steps I have taken to prove the problem to be NP hard. There we use a concept of reducibility. So similarly, I have skipped to slide. Just first I want to give you a maybe a 40% view of this method. I don't want, you should not memorize it. You try to understood these things, and once you understood, I think it will be a good achievement, because understanding and proving is being explained or is being discussed by only few peoples. The proof of the vertex cover is NP hard. We take some problem which is already proven to be NP hard. Okay, that is the approach which is discussed, and so that the problem can be reduced to vertex cover problem. There what we did, we have taken a problem to be NP complete, and we try to reduce that NP complete problem to the problem which we try to prove to be NP complete. So here we are taking a problem NP hard. Look at the statement. Still we are trying to prove it is NP complete. So we have taken a problem which is proved to be NP hard, and you ask the user or the particular person we try to prove it will reduce. So that this problem can be reduced to the vertex cover problem. Okay. But the question is, vertex cover problem is NP complete. Now once that means you are going to prove that the vertex cover problem is NP hard. Now this we consider a click problem. This is, we need a reference of another problem which is proved to be NP complete, hence it is NP hard. With the assumption will continue. I'll again back to this, which assumption will continue. After completing these things, if you come to a conclusion, unknowingly I have skipped those steps. Initially I was trying to distinguish between these two methods which is being used. Okay, so now what we did finally, any instance of the click problem can be reduced to the instances of the vertex cover problem. Okay, why you would try to prove that? Any problem, any instance of the click problem will be reduced to instance of the vertex cover problem. That means the vertex cover is NP hard. Since vertex cover is both in NP and NP hard of class, this is NP complete. So look into this last line. What we try to prove? We try to prove, initially we proved the problem belongs to NP. This is the proof we did in the first step. Now we are proving the problem is in NP hard. As we prove both the things, once they are in NP and they are in the NP, I mean the vertex cover in NP, so that implies, because this construction will not exist, this will only when exist when the problem is NP hard. Okay. So this is the another approach. So slightly different. The first part is same. We prove the given problem or the new problem to be NP, and after that we try to prove. We take a NP complete algorithm and go for the reducibility. We can also go for a proving that the given problem is NP hard. So this is the hand trace as per the book or the examples available, and so we can use other problem as a general framework. Again, I explains. So this is one process which is not narrated in terms of the 4 steps. In terms of the four steps. So these are some graph problems as I have discussed, because sometimes you need many reference to do that. Now come to a simple concept of the reducibility, which reference to a problem is discussed. Now here what we have to do, this is the problem. The problem is that we have a Hamiltonian circuit. So first what we will prove? To prove Hamiltonian circuits to be NP complete, first we have to prove that Hamiltonian circuit will be in NP. Agreed? Hamiltonian circuit will be in the NP. So for that we have to look into the definition of the Hamiltonian circuit. That means for a graph, for a given graph with n edges, so I mean n number of nodes, how many Hamiltonian circuits are possible? If we'll say the number of Hamiltonian circuit is exponential, then my first part proof is complete. Okay, now it's a very small assignment. How you will prove? First, the definition of Hamiltonian circuit. Second, how you will prove the Hamiltonian circuit is in NP? Can anyone suggest? Hamiltonian circuit is in NP. Whiteboard. Yes, please. Can anyone suggest how to prove Hamiltonian circuit to be in NP? I tried to prove Hamiltonian circuit to be NP complete. The question is, Hamiltonian circuit is proved to be NP complete. We have discussed two approaches. One is with 4-step process, and where we have a reducibility and proving to be polynomial time algorithm conversion. Second is proving to be NP hard. And when you prove somebody is in NP hard and somebody, I mean, some are in NP, so intersection is NP complete. This part you are convinced when you are proving a problem is in NP and the same problem is in NP hard. As the diagram, Venn diagram, we are finding the intersection is NP complete. So as per the proof, this is your, as per the standard practice or the, I mean, the proof by the other researcher, your problem is NP complete. Now, what is the Hamiltonian circuit first? Can you name a Hamiltonian circuit? Let us say look into the graph. Can you? Can you say any Hamiltonian circuit?
Sir,
BCD is a Hamiltonian circuit.
BCD. Okay, one input, one output. Okay, so you'll be finding a channel graph. So so now we try to prove this to be NP complete. No. Now how to prove this is in NP?
Sir, if we can show that the number of Hamiltonian circuits possible for a given graph is to be exponential.
Yes, that is very easy. But how? What is that exactly?
Sir,
you have number of vertex. You have a number of vertex.
Yes, sir.
You have number of vertex. So what you can do? You can take any vertex to form a circuit. Yes or no?
No, sir. No, sir, because
Sir, at least two.
If we can't come back to that vertex again, then it is not an Hamiltonian circuit.
Okay, but what will be a combination? Refer to this diagram. What is a combination? That means if I number the vertex like A, B, C, D up to say suppose I have n number of vertex, right? I have n number of vertex and I try to find out how, I mean, what are the Hamiltonian circuit? Definitely it will be a subset out of these elements or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Once you talk about a typical subset, and you go for the power set, if you have n number of vertex, so number of power set is 2 to the power n. Yes, out of this 2 to the power of n, some cannot be a circuit, right? Some cannot be a circuit. But
Yes,
in
sir.
general, as the combination is the power set 2 to the power of n, so we can say that the number of Hamiltonian circuit possible is also almost equal to 2 to the power of n. Or if you are trying to examine the number of Hamiltonian circuit, definitely you have to visit all the 2 to the power n number of combination. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
From the definition of the Hamiltonian circuit, or with the graph with n number of vertex, you can put a argument that this is belongs to NP. You start with a definition, argue across the total number of solutions possible, and say that it is belongs to NP. It belongs to NP means it will be n factorial or 2 to the power n. That's all you have to prove. So here the power set is 2 to the power n, out of which few are the found to be circuit. If I try to say how many circuits are there, definitely I have to use a brute force method that will visit 2 to the power of n number of combinations, out of which again few are the circuits, and few circuits will be Hamiltonian circuit. So what is the upper bound? Upper bound is the 2 to the power n, because you start linearly scanning, maybe the last combination is a Hamiltonian circuit. Agreed or not?
Yes, sir.
So these 4 steps you need to write. You see, I can say you with a confidence कि very rare people will try to write down at least 4 steps, but it is not difficult. We are taking some time, we are slowing down the pace just to explain that once you have a feel, you can apply that in the right time. So first step is to prove this is belongs to NP. Now the second step, you are looking for a existing NP complete problem. Okay, so we'll go back to the hierarchy. Suppose let us look into this. Okay, now if you look into this diagram, suppose this was not proved, you might take the help of the set cover. Somebody say no, I'll start from this and I'll prove this. Somebody say I'll start from this and I'll prove this. Somebody say I'll start from the vertex cover, I'll prove this is. So everything is possible. Okay, now not necessarily that I may start from here, I may start from here, I may start from here. To prove this problem is NP complete. Okay, so first we have to guess. Now here in this example, what we try to do, we are looking for the circuit satisfiability problem. Okay, circuit satisfiability problem, and we are going to reduce to the or a transform to the satisfiability problem. This and you'll be finding they try to illustrate with an example. Okay, if you find any assignment, what exactly try to say? If you find any assignment of Boolean variable, that is ages, such that all these Boolean expressions are true, you find out a Hamiltonian circuit. So how many such assignments are possible, that you know exponential why it is. So if you can solve the SAT problem in polynomial time, you can solve Hamiltonian circuit problem in polynomial time. Okay, and if you want to transform, if you transform Mason text space in the polynomial time, then this will be proved to be NP complete. Now you tell me what we are going to do exactly. Example we have written. In example, we have a mechanism how to represent a node. Let us look into the node number A. And if you look into the graph, the A has one incoming edge and one outgoing edge. So the node can be written as EA and AB. Now, can you write down a small algorithm so that it can be transformed. Then in what type of representation you will prefer for this graph? It is adjacency matrix or adjacency list. Are you getting me? You have to represent this graph. Then you have to do the transformation. And once you do the transformation and you prove the output to be true, and then it is going to prove you NP complete. Okay, let us assume that you are going for a matrix representation and your responsibility is to write down an algorithm so that by looking into this algorithm, it is going to generate a combinatorial expression. Like that, for all nodes which you are finding, finally it will combine to generate a expression, Boolean expression, and that Boolean expression is nothing but the representation of a circuit satisfiability problem. And if I am going to supply the value like EA equal to 1, not EB equal to 0 or something like this, so it will return me a true or false. So if I am going to do that and always get a value true, we will accept this thing. You see, I am not going to write down the algorithm for this. I just ask you, can you change it? Can you propose an algorithm that a polynomial time reduction is possible? Okay, so that is the reason it is not written in algorithmic form, and we need to write down all the possible 4 steps. So what is the V here? We select a node. What is the V here? What we try to prove? We try to prove
Circuit satisfiability.
Right, yes. So sometimes people go beyond the hierarchy. That means they try to take a problem at this level. Maybe they try to take a problem subset sum. They try to directly go for the reduction from the SAT problem. That also people are doing. That also people are doing. If you can reduce the SAT to subset sum problem, then subset sum problem is NP complete. Okay. So that also people are doing. That's why based on the literature or book you follow, sometimes if you are following 2 different books, you can have a 2 different approach. So if he is there, you take the circuit satisfiability problem, construct a reduction from circuit satisfiability to the problem for which you prove that is belongs to NP. And the transformation of the algorithm, a number of times I am telling, in the exam it is expected that you write a pseudocode algorithm or the number of steps that is going to transform, or the process is called reduction, but the complexity of that particular method is must be polynomial. Okay, so we approach like similar to like this because as I told number of times, we try to slow down the process to argue that how I am going to prove this problem. Let us say 3 SAT is NP complete. 3 SAT is NP complete or circuit satisfiability problem. So here we are using 3 variable x1, x2, x3. So it is a typically circuit like this. So before discuss further, the portion which I have not discussed, I want to discuss in particular the Boolean circuit satisfiability problem. So first one is the Boolean circuit. It is a directed graph. Remember it, it's a directed graph. Each node is called the gate, corresponds to the is called the logic gate, corresponds to the operations it want to perform. That is your OR gate, NOT gate and AND gate. And the incoming edges to the logic gate corresponds to the input for the Boolean function, and the outgoing edge corresponds to the output. And this is a typical example. The maximum number type of gates will be used 3. They are to be connected as per the basic property of the gate, but it says once you supply a input either 0 or 1, it is going to get the single output, that is 1. Okay, so now to prove the circuit sat is in NP, The circuit sets the problem that takes the input into Boolean circuit with a single output node. So circuit should be like this and the output value will be 1. The non-deterministic algorithm choose an assignment. Assignment is nothing but the bit. Suppose there are 3 variable, 1 0 1 is a random input, 0 1 1 is a random input, or that you call it as a input bit. That is represented by sequence of 0 and 1. So it says non-deterministic bit. That means if there are 5 items, you are generating a string of 5, and it is randomized like this. The single bit information generated 5 times to have the 5 bit. So there will be some randomness is introduced to the bit. So non-deterministic algorithm choose an assignment of the input bit represented by a sequence of non-deterministic bit, that is 0 1 say, and then it checks deterministically whether this input generates output 1. So what you try to see, simply take the random 5 bit and try to see that, put them into the circuit, try to see that whether any of this particular bit is going to display 1. Okay, just take a random combination of 4 bit, 5 bit, and you have a that type of machine or a circuit, check it has to be 1. So these are the few points related to your NP complete. If we find a polynomial time algorithm for an NP complete problem, then we can find all problems. Then the all problems NP have the polynomial time algorithm. That means we can prove there is a polynomial time algorithm exists for all these problems. So if we can prove one problem is in NP, cannot be solved in polynomial time, agreed, then all NP complete problems are not solvable in polynomial time. This is one of the conclusion also, that which problems are not going to be solved. All NP complete problems appears to be difficult because of the mostly the it's a general comment. People try to prove that the complete problem are difficult, that I've explained from the beginning. You are not aware about the polynomial time algorithm to solve this. So there belongs to NP. Definitely there belongs to NP, and the intersection between NP and NP hard is your NP complete. However, there is no proof that the polynomial time algorithm does not exist. This is a catch. Sometimes you can use with a simplified definition that the problem cannot be solved in the polynomial time, as well as there is no proof that the algorithm, polynomial time algorithm do exist for the particular problem. So we are with the first NP complete problem, which is circuit satisfiability problem, which is nothing but the digital, the combinatorial circuit, and we have a particular capacity which operates. This is an, I'm sorry. So we have a Boolean expression, Boolean variable true or false. You have a circuit with a capacity, what I mean, the number of inputs it is going to operate, and the circuit is designed in such a way that you have to find out the set of inputs or assignments. If it is a 3 variable x1, x2, x3, so all possible bit in terms of 0 and 1, so that the output will be 1. Okay, the circuit is designed in such a way that is the reason. We'll be quickly moving to the first problem. The credit goes to the cook who proved the problem to be NP complete, and this is something details. I'll come to the exactly the definition of this satisfiability problem. So what is exactly the problem? There are two cases arises. One is satisfiable, another is not satisfiable, or sometimes we write it as a unsatisfiable. So it says why it is challenging. Determine whether this you have to understood. You see, we are discussing in example so that you are able to say. Let us say you have 3 input, x1, x2, x3. How many possible cases you need to generate? 2 to the power 3. Mark this number, exponential. If you have n number of input, how many inputs you can test? 2 to the power n. If I'll ask you, tell me which combination is produces 1. Are you getting me? You have 3 input. If I'll ask which combination produces 1, then you can test all the 2 to the power 3 or 8 input, then only you can say. You may say in first attempt, you may say in second attempt, but at best you need 8 attempts. Agreed? Similarly, if there are n number of inputs, and if I ask to test you for which input or which combination of x1 101 10101101, whatever the binary string with n bits will produce is 1, you have to explore or you have to try out with 2 to the power n such combination. So that again says this type of problem is in NP. This type of problem is in NP. So being a problem in NP, you try to prove it. Because it is related to the physical circuit, if you look to a small problem, you can test it physically and it requires a fixed amount of time and terminates. So that's why this is the first problem proved to be NP complete, because physically we can independently design a circuit and prove it. Okay, so that's why if you look into that, this is not the global circuit. This is the example. If I look into the circuit, it is connected in such a way that whatever the input you will supply, okay, and let us say for a particular assignment x1 equal to 1, x2 equal to 1, x3 equal to 0, and the output of the circuit will be 1, and for some of the inputs, the output, the circuit will be 0. So whenever you are finding for any of such cases, the output will be 1, any of such cases, the output will be 1, then you can say this particular problem is a satisfiability problem. I'm sorry, this particular problem is a satisfiable problem. And if we designed a circuit such a way that, such a way that no assignment to the input of this circuit can cause the output to be 1, and you try out with all possibilities, 2 to the power n number of possibility, but none of the input is going to produce 1. So now comes why this problem was first proved to be NP complete. That means it is possible to design a synthesize a circuit. Whatever input you will supply, the output will be 1 in general, or for some set of inputs, the output will be 1. Then another circuit is there, whatever you will supply, in terms of the input x1 and x2 and x3, the output will never come 1. So because it is possible to physically synthesize a circuit to verify a problem which is being, which is belongs to NP because of the exponential solution space, we can prove this is the first satisfiability problem, because physically we can design a small circuit. So if you look into the hierarchy, there is a very interesting things. It starts with a number 3 sat, 4 sat, n sat, k sat, like that. You cannot design it for a very large circuit, but proving is easy. Yeah, sorry. Look into this. You see the relation between the circuit sat and 3 sat. Okay, so it goes like this. So there is some representation, only by changing the representation it starts from the first one and goes to the vertex, up to the 3 sat. It is just a representation reducing the number of input. After that it comes to the reduction. So this is to be remembered, that the satisfiability of the problem is possible by physically synthesizing a circuit with help of the logic gate, so that we can one machine can test that any assignment, and we can supply an assignment out of available of the 2 to the power n assignment, we can test which are going to produce 1. Second is that even if you try out with exponential number of inputs, it is not going to produce as the 1. Sometimes it is 0, sometimes it is 1, or we may not able to find out even 1 is not produced at all. So this is unsatisfiable when the output is not 1. Otherwise it is satisfiable, and we can try all the cases of the 2 to the power n or the few cases of that. Okay, so that's all what I try to do. I just took a overall of the things, then I'll be entering into the detailed proof. And as I told, we have 4 to 5 theorems we'll discuss in details. Now I'm going to share this thing to you to at least first you look into the vertex cover problem. I have told you the two approach. One approach is that 4-step approach where how to prove the problem to be NP complete. Second approach is that by proving the problem belongs to NP, you try to prove the problem is belongs to NP hard. Then you write only one line, because NP and NP hard as a intersection. When I say the problem is in NP, again in the problem is NP hard, so it belongs to the intersection, and that area is nothing but the problem area for NP complete problems. So we are proving. So this is the vertex cover is proved like this. We will be finding many other proofs also directly reducing. So but the approach is that since the vertex cover is both in NP and NP hard class, it is NP complete. So because of this particular argument, we are stating it separately is the another type of approach to prove to be NP complete. Then we have explanation how we try to do it in terms of the examples. So that we'll discuss in the next class. We'll discuss 3 to 4 algorithms. Hope to end the discussion with one class that number of problems to be NP complete, and few examples will be left to you to for the self study. Yes, if you have a query, any query, I can take that one.
Hello, sir.
Yes, please.
Sir,
Yes.
in case the circuit, yes, sir. Sir, in case the circuit is consisting of large number of
Inputs.
or gates, then
and or
yes,
gate.
sir.
Fine.
That means the number, yes, sir. The number of variables are greater number of n. And
N.
there
Fine.
is no such expression for which the output will be 1. Sir,
One.
then
Then
what
it
will
is
be what?
unsatisfiable. Unsatisfiable.
Okay.
Unsatisfiable.
Sir,
Unsatisfiable.
for
So
yes,
you
sir,
you,
for
you, you
sure.
you remember one term, because you are from computer science. So there is a term called fan in and fan out. Have you heard of this thing?
No, sir.
Fan in. If you look into the digital circuit or a combinatorial circuits, the number of
Yes.
input we call it as a fan in, and number of output is the fan out. Okay. So here we are talking about the number of fan in is the n input, 1 output. Okay, and you are not gonna, you are, as you say, you are never going to find 1. So you can use that term. I mean to state the problem in terms of fan in and fan out. Okay, please come to your question. Yes, anybody?
No, sir. That is what my question.
No, your question was that when there are n number of input, so none of the input is going to produce 1. So that is called a unsatisfiable problem. Okay, that is not the satisfiability.
Yes,
That is
sir.
not the
My
circuit
question
setup.
was
Yes, please.
yes, sir. My question was how will we prove that that is a unsatisfiable problem? Like for that also we need to go through each and every possible
Right. Right.
like
No,
string, so
we are
that
not going to. We are not going to prove. Actually, in fact, we have not discussed so far how to prove a problem to be unsatisfiable. That is just an example to show that how it will be unsatisfiable. Okay, but
okay,
we are only looking into the circuit which is satisfiable for this problem. Got it? Here in case of NP completeness, we are only referring to circuit satisfiability problem and referring to a circuit which is satisfiable. For NP completeness, we need a satisfiable problem, right? But there exists an unsatisfiable problem. That's why try to distinguish between satisfiable and unsatisfiable. I mean unsatisfiable, or sometimes it's non-satisfiable people are writing. These examples are taken from the core map. Okay, I know this little bit of sincere reading and hardship is required to tackle this type of problems, and I think the PhD students sometimes will take a note of that for their problem. If you try to prove that, it will be a very good representation of your problem. So far, I have not seen anybody strongly writing or doing that. Let me share one of the research student. He tried to uh, solve a research problem, that is your IoT FUG. I mean placement of the task in IoT FUG. So we had a marathon review around 2 hours, you can say, and it will be interesting. You'll be finding. I already told you about your book by Klinberg and Tedes, and he was in fact working on the problem which is introduced in preface of the Klinberg and Tedes, that is table matching. So his paper title and work title is what? He tried to find out, he says, I am implementing a matching game and I am trying to find out the stability. He tried to define what is a stable, what is stable a matching game. Then at the end I ask, have you gone through the standard algorithm book? This is a classical problem is being solved, and solution, methodology, solution space and approach all are discussed in your Klinberg and Tedes book. Sir, he says, sir, I never come across that book. I say, sir, I don't know about that. Okay, I'll be introducing that problem, because as I say, the Markle and Weiss start with a problem, kth largest, and Klinberg and Tedes starts with a problem that is a stable matching. Okay, so they describe the problem with a very simple language. Eligible male and ineligible female members are there, and they try to explain. You see, there are very good application of all the classical technique to real world problem, and that gap, and you are the people to bridge that gap. Don't say I'll read from, I'll copy, Mr. X has done it, so I am doing it. That is not meant for you. Look into the civil engineer, and people specify the requirement. Somebody demands 2 bedrooms, somebody demands 3 bedrooms, somebody demands large kitchen, somebody demands large portico. So depending on the requirement, he changes his design, keeping the best, because he studied the basic and applying those basic to design the product. And what happens in the computer science? Majority of the people, they only know, I know binary search means binary, it will end with the binary search. I can't think beyond the binary search. My standard is that I only remember and heard of these algorithms. So it is all about application. That is the reason we say you read the problem statements. You read the problem statement. And one of the basic book which provides the problem statement, that is Data Structure by Sahani. Only any of you have seen the Data Structure by Sahani? Data Structure by Sahani. I think this I could not mention because we'll be coming to few data structure portions. That is by the single author. That is by the single author. I mean, not any author is combined authors, not by Sahani Mehta. That is Data Structure, Algorithm and Application in C++. And that is the book you can find if you visit the, if you go to the preface of that book, you will be finding one thing. The link is available. You can download all the codes, and that is another good book for the template. When we talk of a different template, that is a very good book for the template. You can find many templates. I mean, a true object-oriented representation, You can find many templates at the template, but you will not find a complete program. You will never find a complete program, but you will find, yeah, I am sharing this book. This is the book. And every chapter, even in the stack chapter, you will be finding application. I think it's visible, data structure algorithm in application in C++. You'll never find a complete program, only you'll be finding the template. Okay. So proof is essential to decorate, to add a value to the reports, or to reflect that you are from computer science. So little bit of hardship, but you have to do that. Okay. So we'll stop with this. I have already shared the NP hard portion, which is the complete slide, complete note. While delivering in last class, something was missing. I did it full proof and upload it. This I'll upload hopefully tonight. I'll upload with 1 or 2 examples. Okay. Thank you.
Hello,
So
sir.
yes, please.
Thank you.
Bolo.
Sir,
Susri.
actually,
Hmm.
yes, sir, can I request you to just give a clear discrimination between the way we prove a problem to be complete and the way we, yes, sir.
Yes. NP hard you have understood that I have clearly told how to prove. Okay.
Yes, sir.
What is the gist? There are 2 ways to
Yes,
prove
sir.
NP complete. One is the example, without explaining the algorithm I saw, one way is that the 4 step which is explained in the PPT. Step 1, this belongs to NP. Step 2, you select a problem which is NP complete. Third is reducibility. Fourth step is prove that the reduction process takes the polynomial time. That is one. Second is that prove the problem to be belongs to NP. Then try to prove that your problem is NP hard. Got the difference? In one problem, first step you are proving your problem is belongs to NP. That is common in both the approach. Okay. You see, it's a collection of the books. That's why I am discussing across the 2 method. But normally people discuss across the 1 method. First you prove it is to be 1 method. So first that you have understood the 4-step process. You tell me yes or no.
Yes, sir.
That is
Yes,
first
sir,
you
I
are
got
proving.
that.
Step number 1, the problem is in NP, which can be mostly done by defining the solution space. Second, you are selecting a NP complete problem. How you are selecting based on your experience and expertise. That this you are selecting NP complete problem. Third is you are applying the reducibility to reduce the problem NP complete problem to your problem. And fourth, step number 4, this reduction process is actually your contribution. The transformation process or the algorithm which transfers from x to y is polynomially bounded. That has to be proved. That is step number 4. Then your given problem is NP complete. But another approach is that is very much similar to the first step. You prove the problem is belongs to NP, and then suddenly you prove that your problem is NP hard. So why it problems to the NP hard? If you refer to the diagram, the problem which is belongs to NP, the problem which is belongs to NP hard, they shares a common reason, that is NP complete. Hence your problem is NP complete. One is 2-step process, another is 4-step process. Got anything? No. Still
Yes,
Hello,
confused?
sir.
yes, sir. So the second, no, sir. So
Yes, please. Bolo. Yes, you just go one by one. Second. Yes.
Sir, in proving the problem is in NP by its solution space, we may have the case where P problem can have exponential solutions.
Yes, almost all problems have got exponential solution. One, it is exponential solution. It is belongs to NP.
Then is this the sufficient condition to say that the
Yes,
problem is in
yes,
NP?
yes. That's all. That's all. That's all. I'll share you 5 to 6 example. You see, it is very simple. 1 or 2 line explanation will do. That will not prove to be NP complete. NP complete, you have to reduce it. Because you are proving first line, the solution space is exponential, means it is belongs to NP. Only NP. Only NP. Remember it, you have one more clue also. For some of the problems, you can say you can verify the solution in polynomial time also. Whatever the properties we are describing, we can use any of this property to prove. But most of the book, they reflect on that general property, that the 4-step property. 4-step property is being referred. Another, the 2-step property is provenance of the, the hard. So sometimes it may require for some problems we can go proving that the solution verification is possible in polynomial time, but the problem is belongs to NP, but I can verify a solution in polynomial time. So hence the problem is NP complete. So this is one argument we can move forward, but not being addressed in many book. But the definition says if you can say the NP complete problems are verifiable in polynomial time. So I am presenting a proof a problem can be verified in polynomial time. Most of the problem, the step 1 is very simple. Let us say for SAT problem, you try to prove it to be NP complete. SAT is NP complete. Let us look into that. SAT is NP complete. If I try to prove SAT is NP complete, okay, SAT is NP complete. What I need to prove? What I need to prove? A SAT has got a certain input, and what you have to prove?
Yes.
That it is satisfiable. It is satisfiable. How long it will take it will to be satisfiable? If I try to find out for which input it is satisfiable, let us say the circuit is satisfiable circuit, but for which input it is satisfiable? You have to use a brute force method, and you can try out 2 to the power n number of times in the worst case to prove that this problem is satisfiable. So that implies it is belongs to NP. This is only one line you have to write. Or indirectly what you can write? Deterministic algorithm will take, let us look into a satisfiable problem. So whatever the input will use, what the circuit will show output, what is the satisfiable circuit will show. I am using a randomized algorithm. Yes. If this much you understood means majority is over. You have written a randomized algorithm which picks up randomly the n bits and apply to the problem, and you find out 1. Remember it, your randomized algorithm, the name itself, because it's a randomized non-deterministic algorithm you are using, a non-deterministic algorithm you are using, and you are finding, but that algorithm completes in polynomial time. Don't get confused. You can say I have used a non-deterministic algorithm. That is the another way to, or best way if you want to convince the exponential solution space. Then come to step 2. Okay, sometime it is selects the NP complete problem. Sometimes without selecting also NP complete problem, they go for the NP hard, and sometimes the verifiable concept also can be used. But majority of the author, they use the 4-step process. Okay, majority of the author, they use just a 4-step process. Yes, anybody has any query, or we'll close the session. Okay, what about your assignments on Saturday 9 AM? Your class will be closed on December 11.
11.
Huh?
Yes, sir. 11.
December 11. So, because this week I'll be closing my cloud computing class, so that I can, any other extra class taken by the teachers. Okay, we'll discuss if when there will be no overlapping class, we'll try to do that. Because I need little bit of longer classes like for genetic algorithm and others. I can complete in one class if it will be 1.5 hours or plus. I'll try to see that it will not be hectic because we'll take a break to complete. So some portions are there. Maybe we'll start with the hashing, which takes 2 classes. But this week we'll try to close this NP complete portion. We'll go back to approximation algorithm. It may take one more class with 1 or 2 example, and after completing approximation, we'll move to the hashing or we'll continue with the algorithm person. Either of these things we can decide. Okay. Your new semester starts on which date? 19th?
So
14th.
14.
14th.
14 December.
You got the
Yes,
notice,
sir.
no?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
you got?
officially. Yes.
But any of you have received stipend? No,
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
not yet. Huh? Okay. No, I don't know the reason, but because
There is some chance we can get.
no, you will definitely get because that is the
No,
because there is
in
lot
this
of fund crunch in
before
the government
season
level. No, definitely that is a part of that, so you'll get. But huge fund crunch, huge fund crunch. Creating facility will be huge fund crunch. No, there was a discussion once I told. I heard that you people can drop a mail to the dean to know the status. I think he'll be getting back. How you make the fees? You pay your payment through online or how you deposit your fee during admission?
Online, sir.
Online.
online.
Okay.
So through
Yes, sir.
CCMT.
Online, sir.
For CCMT, no?
No, CCMT is one. CCMT money will come from CCMT to institute. Institute takes a separate fee, and whatever you deposited to the CC, you deposit almost all money to the CCMT or to the partly to CCMT, partly to the institute.
No, sir. All the money to CCMT.
No, sir. Half to CCMT and some of it to the NIT site.
Because last year, 2 years, I was heading the MTech admission. This year, I am out of that because it was actually partial to the CCMT.
Yes, sir. Near about 12,000 was to CCMT and rest 13 to this NIT
That
Rourkela.
takes actually good amount of time. All the money will be collected after the sliding and others, so it will come to the institute. Because yesterday was the board meeting, so financial position and others discussed. So they are releasing. First 3 quarter was very tough. Next quarter will be little bit of comfortable. January, February, March will be releasing the bills. Okay, thank you then. You'll have one more assignment which will be loaded maybe after a couple of days. So you submit your assignments. Maybe we have one more quiz before 11th on Microsoft Teams. Okay. So if anybody has any accessing problem, you should immediately intimate me. Okay. Thank you then.
Sir,
We'll close the session. Yes.
sir, what about quiz, sir?
No, quiz, I say quiz
Sir,
can be, yes, please follow. Quiz will be
no,
through
no, sir.
MS
I was
Team.
asking what about quiz?
No, what will be the portion for the quiz or?
Sir, the type like structure, the objective or subjective, sir?
It will be objective, completely MCQ. It will be MCQ through Microsoft Team. Okay. It will be
Sir,
MCQ.
will we be notified before time
Yes,
or it will?
it will be
Okay, sir.
it will be notified before time. Because there is a instruction because new semester starts, we cannot do any backlog work after that. So we have to do everything before 11th. It was a strict instruction. We cannot carry over any mid or internal evaluation to the next cycle or next overlapping. Okay. We will be completing before 11th. Okay. One more assignment and one more, one assignment, one quiz, right? Okay.
Sir, one assignment also you said for PhD students.
A PhD that I'll be working. I'm just let me finish because
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, my loads I know only.
Yes,
Day before
sir.
yesterday,
Understood.
yesterday it was night 2:30. Tomorrow I have to present before Government of India a budget of 21 crore. So 39 slide presenting, explaining, presenting the cases before the apex body secretaries. Got something sanctioned today again. I do not know. Even nobody bothers for my class. I share this thing with people because at 12:30 I got a notice that I have to attend a meeting, and the meeting ends around 1:45. And sometimes it is too tough for me always. And I've
Sir,
been assigned to classes, so
once you are free, then
no. By this week I am closing the BTech classes, so it's a matter of one day only. It's a matter of one day only, but that is required. That is required
okay, sir.
because, and we'll be preferring the LaTeX, and we'll be uploading into the same Microsoft Teams so that we have a provision to check the plagiarism with the Turnitin. Okay, the PhD students, you can drop a request you can drop a request to HOD-CC, HOD-CC requesting the Turnitin ID for plagiarism checking. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All the PhD students are requested to drop a mail to HOD-CC requesting for Turnitin ID, but your signature should contain all your details. At least mobile number should be there, because my team is going to call you if you have any difficulty, or if they want any other clarification while creating the Turnitin account. Your Turnitin account will be your roll number, and you can access from the any location for the plagiarism. Okay, because
Okay, sir. Yes, sir.
the next two, you do it today or by tomorrow, because next 2 week will be challenging for me, because I have to handle, or my team has to handle 1200 BTech students, and communicating with them is a problem, because sometimes the demand we should talk in some local language to understood their query while issuing the Microsoft team and other things. So
Yes,
because
sir.
BTech admission is going to be started, and I have to complete all assignments within 7 days. So I have a 25 to 30 is the due. So you request today so that I can allot my team. They will issue you the password within couple of days. Okay.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Okay, I close the session. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.